welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with a really cute little block I like to call Scrappy Hour Glasses. Now, this comes together very quickly, and I didn't lay it out for you, but I will be showing you how fast it is to sew together. But first, we do a shout out. Loralynn from the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop is a fellow Canadian in our maritime provinces, and she is just lovely. She's charming. She's just so sweet. I can't believe how sweet she is. Anyway, so when you go check her out, if you haven't already done so, you tell her that Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda sent you over there, and share, like, subscribe her videos as well with your friends. Now, the other thing you're going to find in her show notes, besides her YouTube link, is our Facebook group. We're growing rapidly. Every day we're letting in new members. We're sharing pictures. We're asking questions. We've got community chats, and we've got fabric exchanges, and we've got a virtual sewing room, and people are just loving that warm, welcoming community. So if you're on Facebook and you'd like to join us, please do. Now, the other thing you're going to find in there is the Zoom sew dates. Now, we've got Zoom sew dates pegged out from now until May, and we'll add more later on. But right now, we know when those are. We have to get the kids to decide when they're going to go camping so we can go camping with them. So if we have to change dates, we're not, doing that for you. Now, those Zoom sew dates are fun. A lot of people show up from Europe and the UK and, sometimes South America and Indonesia. We have a wonderful time. Australia and New Zealand, sometimes they're represented as well. It's a lot of fun for a sew date. And it starts 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm either in Alberta or Arizona. And we just have a great time. So share, like, and subscribe, comment, thumbs up on the videos if you like them, because it helps our analytics and it helps us be shared more widely through YouTube. So come on in, let's get to this fun sewing. Okay, here we are. Now, I know some of you said, well, you can cut your strips with an easy angle easy angle ruler, and then you just do strips of, 2.5 inch, half square triangles. I've given you the traditional method because not everybody has that ruler, and that's another expensive ruler. I find it useful because I make lots of half square triangles, but not everybody does. So what I did, and my scraps for this color were not big. This color was okay, but not this color. So what I'm going to do, this one relies on dark, mediums, and light. So I'm just going to run through start making the triangles for the hourglass block. Oh, man. Now I have a stitch plate on my sewing machine that's just a little hole. And that makes a massive difference on how easy it is to sew a half square triangle. Now, if your sewing machine has a stitch plate where it's just a tiny little hole, that's the one. If you're doing dozens and dozens and dozens of these, maybe that's the one you should be pulling out, right? So, it's kind of important that you understand that. The little hole, too, doesn't allow for stuff to be sucked down into it, because that's part of the reason why people have problems with half square triangles, is their sewing machine is sucking them in, right? But, I mean, we do the best we can, and if that's the sewing machine we're working with, well, Now, if you do have a sewing machine and it's only got the one plate and it's got kind of a mouth where the needle goes up and down in because it does all these other stitches, just start very slow and go through. Don't whip through, triangle after triangle, right? That's another, try and get a little bit of, when you're putting that tip in, get that tip in as far as you can without sewing. So I guess what I'm saying is, okay, here, I'll show you what I'm doing here. I hope you can see this. So I'm just going to finish this. So what I do is I push my triangle right up to the needle. And that's one way to avoid having your stuff sucked down if you've got a mouth for a plate instead of like a little tiny hole. Because that, like I say, if you've got two plates Yeah, the where you're doing all these tiny little half square triangles, that's where you do the one with the little hole. It's easier. Okay, so let's get another leader ender through. I have so many leader enders. I just stack them up. We'll see how many I get done by the end of the week. There, get some bright colors going. Yeah. Trying to do colorful low volumes along with my bright colors so it doesn't get too dull looking. Okay, now with these 8, what you're going to do is you're going to trim them all. Okay, oops. And they should all be at 2.5 inches when you open them up. And I am going to press to the dark because I'm that kind of a person. So I'm just going to take them and I'm just going to press them to the dark. You can trim first, and now I trim in like that, right? So I trim in like that. Some people only trim this way, but I trim in a little deeper angle. It helps reduce the bulk in your block. And, you know, it might not be as perfect as that, you know, the 1/4 inch, you know, they have. Even the easy angle ruler cuts one off blunt at a, you know, so it's a 90-degree angle to the square. But I like to go in just a little bit deeper. I find it works a little, it reduces that bulk. When you're trying to nest up a bunch of stuff and you've got extra seams now in there, if it's a little bit, you know, thinner, it's not so bulky. And all you need really is 1/8 of an inch for a seam. And I know some people really, no, you need a full 1/4 inch. Well, you know, that's okay. So here we go. Here. That's what this is going to look like. I'm going to put 4 to the top. And 1 more. Here we go. Now I'm going to put 4 like this. And then 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, and then 4 down here. So basically, I'm making a subunit that's going to look like that. And that's my hourglass. That's the hourglass subunit. Like I say, this is kind of a cute little, you know, scrappy craziness, but it's all good. It's all good. So let's make this unit first, right? Because this is the hardest unit. So now we're just going to run these through, and we're running all of them like this. Oops, there we go. You do a top one and a bottom one. And a top one and a bottom. You do that 4 times, and it gives you 4 subunits. And that will be the corners of your block. There we go. Wow, these are just like, we're talking like a hair off, like not even a thread. They'll ease in perfectly. Okay, here we go. And I've got a blurred neutral. So that a low volume, or that's going to look perfect with. Okay. Last one. Yeah, these come together. I was surprised how nice they came together. Wow. Okay. Okay, it's official. Once this one goes through, all the hard bits are done. That wasn't hard. And it wasn't hard making these little hourglass blocks. Now let me just get another one through. I'll run it through real quick. Get another leader ender off my deck here. I've got 2 huge piles, so I'm going to try and make the biggest quilt I can. And if it's a, you know, a toddler size, you know, one crib quilt that goes from the crib to the toddler bed, that's, you know, sometimes they just go into a twin bed, but, you know, sometimes they go into toddler beds too. So you just take 2 off, just like that. And if you press to the dark, which might be the best way to do this, because there, you won't have any show through. So now we're gonna run it through just like that. Now I want to make sure I get a good nest, so I'm clipping that little thread in between when I was webbing the block. Okay, to the dark. There we go. And you line it up at the top. Get it going. Put the needle down. Okay, and then make sure you nest really tight in there, because you want sharp points at that hourglass, where that hourglass meets. There we go. There. Yeah. Well, this is coming together really quickly. Ugh. This one is perfect for all those little half square triangles that people have kicking around in their sewing room, right? It's just, you can change the size on all of this to, make it work for you. There. If you wanted to go smaller, you could. They have dozens and dozens of 2-inch half square triangles, unfinished half square triangles. Well, you can just change this up to make the outside the outside rails thinner. It's a good one to modify. Let's put this like this and get another leader ender through. Here we go. There. That's bright. There's another bright one. Okay. Here, now. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to open up these seams so that hopefully they'll spin nice. Yes, they do. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Right? Nice spin. So we're going to put those in our corners. Now, with all of this in a quilt, there will be secondary patterns forming out of this, right? You just pop that open, swirl them, you're good. Okay, the second subunit you make is a rails block. It's a baby rails. It's only got two little rails in it. And you got to make sure that all of these are pointing in, just like that. So this is our rails unit. I've got 4 of these, so let's get that subunit done. I think this fabric is just so cute. So cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get this one done. Yeah, I like a good rails quilt. I like, because they're so much fun. So much stuff you can put into them. And this one works 2.5 inch. So if you're looking for something for your 2.5 inch strips that we all have kicking around all over our sewing room, that's the perfect little thing to use them up with. You need, all you need is a strip that's what's bigger than 17 inches. And you've got the rails unit done. Okay, another leader ender. There we go. There. Yeah, there's some bright stuff in there. And then you have just a darling little stuff like this. It's like, wow. This is going to be very eclectic quilt. This is going to be very eclectic 4-patch quilt when I'm done. But I'm sewing them all the same way. The dark goes in first. There. Okay, now. Off that leader ender. And just open these up. Or snip them off. Now, press to the dark again, and the dark goes to the inside, right? That's just a, it's just a nice way of putting it together. Now, I did have dark, medium, and light, so my light is here. But you could put a focal fabric in there. You could, have all sorts of fun things going on in that block, because it's a good 4.5-inch size block, right? Because this is a 12.5-inch block. Okay, so there we go. Let's start webbing this together. And we want to try and nest this so these two nest together, because then you end up with a sharp point on your triangle. There. And of course, you just sew these together. Nice. They go together so nice. I think I picked this fabric up at Kingman as well. It's just so pretty. Such a pretty fabric line I picked up. And nest again. There we go. Oh. Okay. Get another one done. I have fun putting this together. This could be very wild. Yeah, this could be a wild quilt to put together. But I like wild things. And so do kids, too. Don't ever worry about a child not liking something, because the wilder it is, sometimes the more they like it. So let's put this down, make sure we've got everything going the right way that it needs to go. Right? Now that I've got a good match on. And you check your seams, too, while you're doing this, because you might as well get a good match there. So now we're going to put this next row on. And here we go. Okay. Can't remember where I got the pale blue fabric, but wow, it's pretty too. It could be used as a low volume. That's this center fabric here, because it is so very, very pale. But I thought, okay, I'll pull that one out for this as a the very light, a light blue. Okay. Now we get the webbing going the other way. As soon as I run a leader ender through. I didn't end up. This is cute. I've got some very cute fabric with this. These cute little blocks are going to be all over in this quilt. Not quite an I Spy quilt, but it's definitely going to be interesting. Interesting to look at. All the different fabrics and textures that are in there. Okay, so now let's take a quick look. Yeah, it all looks good. All the points are matching, so let's get this thing together. So let's go the other way, web it the other way, and we're done, right? So, okay. Okay, now you get it in a bit, and then you start, okay, this one is going this way. Okay, this has got to go out. There, you got to go out. The center has got to go out. There. Okay, and that means this has got to go in. And make sure it stays nice and nested. See that? You couldn't do that if everything was still strung together. You couldn't see what you had to do. So that's why it's important sometimes to trim your webbing strings in between your blocks. And you get a good visual then too, right? Like you're not sitting there guessing as to where it is. Okay. And that's one. Let's get another one of these through. There. Oh, that's bright. Okay. No. There. All right, last block or last row. Give it another once over check. Yeah, it looks good. Everything's lining up. I don't have any horrible seams that aren't matching up. Right, everything's doing good. So get it in with the needle down. Trim your little strings. Very simple. Very simple. Is this going in? Oh yeah, this is going out. Sorry. Yeah, this is going out. There you go. There we go. And then we want to match this. And there. Here. And another last leader ender through for this block, just to get that off the machine. Then we can check it to see what we've done. There we go. There. Now, on the back, I have pressed this out flat, right? Because this is much lighter than this, and you might have show through if this is too thin. But you just press it down the best you can now and hope that it's flat. If you needed to press open, you could have pressed open. That's not a problem. So let's get to our big ta-da moment. So here's our Scrappy Hour Glass all ready to be put into a quilt. This is a beautiful 12.5-inch unfinished or 12-inch finished block. A lot of the blocks I'm trying to make now are like 12.5-inch, so they're easier to put together as an orphan block quilt. This one was a lot of fun. It relies on dark, mediums, and light. But the light here could also be considered a low volume. But I wanted something bluish, pale blue, very pale blue in the middle. So this one was a lot of fun to draw out for you and figure out all the measurements, but it's I do hope you give this one a try too. I hope you have an absolutely amazing week ahead and everything goes right for you. And until we see each other again, you guys take care. Okay, bye. My husband and I would love to thank you for watching our videos and being part of our Facebook group and coming to our Zoom meetings. It's been so much fun on this little adventure that we've been on YouTube. I just want to we are doing Zoom sew dates still coming up and those dates are going to be listed in the show notes of this video. For the next year, we're making that commitment to you, and we're having a lot of fun with those Zoom sew dates. So please, feel free to come in. Even if you're not a quilter and you just want to come and do some crocheting or knitting or whatever, yeah, come on down. We're good. The other thing is I still am doing speaking engagements for the quilt gals just to help them out to get back on their feet. I am doing only Zoom meetings. And I have a PowerPoint presentation that talks about all the free patterns that we have put out and will be putting out to the world. So they're more than welcome to take any of my patterns and use them for their charity quilts, right? So that's kind of important that they know that we're there. So if you are part of a guild, let your programs person know that we're speaking for free over Zoom only. We're not doing any traveling or anything like that. The other thing that I want to let you know is that we do in our Facebook group, everybody's sharing pictures and having fun and asking questions, and it's a hoot. And we do still have the room feature in Facebook that we can go sew within. My admin person, Kathy, was able to set that up. It's no longer called Brenda's room, it's called Kathy's room, but we got a room. We do have a room working, so we're all happy with that. So if you get the opportunity to come join us on Facebook, that's great. We'd love to have you. So until we meet again, I hope you have you and your family have an absolutely amazing weeks ahead. Okay, you take care. All right, bye.